This is America. An America where the border has no protections. There are no interventions in human trafficking. Drugs pour across the border like a river. And the person who controls, who is appointed over the border, specifically the southern border, Homeland Secretary Mayorkas, clearly states the border is under control. Of course, his definition of under control is nothing like anything we've ever seen before. This is America. We have the Marshal of the Supreme Court. I didn't even know the Supreme Court had a Marshal. But we have a Marshal of the Supreme Court, a new one. I guess the old one got tired of the bullshit and left or retired. But the new one is now asking the state and the local authorities to start enforcing the laws of the state and local laws concerning protesters, because the federal government, and specifically Joe Biden and Merrick Garland, are not enforcing the law and putting the Supreme Court justices at risk. And all this is still happening after a person turned himself in, admitting a planned attempt on the life of Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh. If the people like you and me were to voice disdain for any politician in office, the way that these politicians are voicing disdain for the U.S. Supreme Court, we'd be in jail. And this is America. The Biden administration is discouraging investment in fossil fuels and encouraging banks to restrict investment there. They are discouraging profit. Joe Biden himself is telling oil companies and distributors to lower the price of oil to reflect the cost. All while they are doing everything they can to hinder oil drilling, oil refining, oil distribution. This is America. And Dobbs versus Jackson, the first leak of a draft opinion in the history of the U.S. Supreme Court occurred. And then, when the U.S. Supreme Court issued an official opinion effectively overturning Roe v. Wade, Democrat leadership in Congress and the executive branch, to include President Biden, have spewed utter contempt for that decision. This is the America we live in. When Biden advisor Brian Deese is told that the price of gasoline at $4.87 a gallon is unsustainable and the public can't continue with this, how long are we expected to? Brian Deese's answer is, this is being done in support of the liberal world order. And in a similar talk, President Biden himself answers about how long people can expect this kind of inflation on fuel to continue. And his response is, as long as it takes to prevent Russia from taking Ukraine and then on to Europe. So in as many words, what was said is that government is not serving the people. People are serving the government. and we will pay the higher gas prices as long as government deems it necessary in the name of their liberal agenda. This is the America we live in. The January 6th committee, headed by House Speaker Pelosi, doesn't even follow its own charter concerning the members of the January 6th committee, thus invalidating its purpose because it lacks enough Republicans on the committee to meet its own criteria, has become a weaponized judicial branch of the Democrats instead of an investigative committee. Meanwhile, January 6th participants languish in the Washington, D.C. jail systems. This is the America we live in, where U.S. Supreme Court Justice nominee Brown, who is a woman, was asked during her hearings for her nomination if she could define what a woman is. And her answer was no, she can't, because she's not a biologist. This is a now sitting U.S. Supreme Court judge. This is America, where grocery prices have risen anywhere from 15 to 45%. Gasoline prices have doubled. And you can't say Russia, Russia, Russia when the prices were $3.16 a gallon, up from $1.87 a gallon when Biden took office last year. Last year they were $3.16 a gallon. And when Biden took office, it was $1.87 a gallon. That wasn't Russia. Russia was February, where the president lectures that we don't have it as bad as it is in Europe when it comes to inflation. So I guess that makes it all okay. This is America. And where women grow up and their dream of participating in sports and being the best and spending their life and youth making themselves the best athlete that they can be, are unseated and usurped by a male who was born male, went through elementary and high school male, and then somewhere along the line decided, I'm a woman. And after benefiting from growing up as a male, creating larger muscles, this male starts taking estrogen to decrease the levels of testosterone, competes, and absolutely trashes all records, and is hailed as brave. This is America that we live in.